Dear students, welcome to this presentation in which we are going to discuss about one of the most important topic in electricity, and that is electrical potential difference. Now, to understand electrical potential difference, we have to understand and talk about three situations which we see in our daily life. Consider that there are two water tanks A and B containing water and are joined together through a pipe with a tap. Now the liquid flows from tank A to B when this tap is open. Now this is due to the reason that the level of the water column or the pressure in tank A is more than that in tank B, right? Because of the level of water, the height of the column of water in tank A is higher. Now the water will keep on flowing to tank B as long as there is difference in level, or we can say difference in pressure, right? So I think this is a common sight. Similarly, if we join two hot bodies, now the heat flows from the body at higher temperature to a body with lower temperature. Now this movement of heat from a hotter object to a lower object will continue till the temperature of the two bodies become equal. Similarly, see the third example. If there is an inclined plane and if we keep a ball at the top of the inclined plane, right, at point A, what will happen? The ball will roll down to point B. Why this happens? Because when we keep the ball at point A, it has a higher gravitational potential energy and it will roll down to point B, because always objects travel down from a higher gravitational potential energy to lower gravitational potential energy. So if a ball is placed on an inclined plane, it will roll down from position A of higher gravitational potential energy to B of lower gravitational potential energy, right? Because it moves from greater height to lower height. Now electrical potential and electrical potential difference we can understand by understanding the above three examples. In electricity, the potential is like height, level, or temperature as discussed earlier in the three examples. When a body is raised to a height, or the level of a liquid is raised in a vessel, or temperature of a body is to be raised, work has to be done. Similarly, work has to be done in charging a body. Now, this work gets stored in that body as its electrical potential energy. Now, see this and you will be able to understand. In diagram A, there is a electric field due to this positive charge. And at point A, we have a very small test positive charge. Now, because this is the positive charge and this is a very small test positive charge, there will be repulsion. Now the direction of the electric field because of the positive charge is radiating outward. So this the arrow E basically indicates the direction of electric field. Now if we want to take the charge from point A to B, we have to apply some force against the repulsive force, right? And we have to displace it. So when we are exerting a force and we are displacing, then force into displacement, that means we are working, we are doing work on charge A. When work is done on charge A will gain electrical potential energy, right? So moving the positive test charge from point A to point B will require work, and when work is done, it will increase the potential energy of the charge, right? Similarly, if the test charge will naturally move in the direction of the electric field, if it is at point B, and if we do not do any work, if we release it, what will happen? It will automatically move from point B to A because of the repulsive force, right? So work is not required in this case. The potential energy of the charge will decrease, right? Now the same thing is once again described, right? So let us understand, electric charges do not flow on their own, right? Suppose you take example of a water. If there is water and the pipe through which we want water to flow is horizontal, right? If the two ends of the pipe are at the same time, then the water will not flow. Similarly, electric charges do not flow on their own. वो इलेक्ट्रिक चार्जेस अपने आप फ्लो नहीं करते, दे नीड अ इलेक्ट्रिकल प्रेशर और अ पुश until there is a difference in electrical potential between the two ends of the conductor, right? The one end of the conductor should be at a higher potential and the other end of the conductor should be at a lower electrical potential. Then the electrical charges will automatically flow from the higher electrical potential to the lower electrical potential, and when this movement is continuous movement, it is known as electric current, right? This difference in electrical potential between 2 points in an electric field creates a EMF. What is EMF? Electromotive force or the push, which drives or pushes the charge in a specific direction. What is the direction? From a higher electrical potential to a lower electrical potential. This is what is depicted in these two diagrams. Suppose once again there is a charge, positive charge, unit positive charge placed at point B. The potential of the charge at point B is VB. V is the symbol for potential, right? So the potential of the charge, test charge at point B is VB. If we do work and we displace, if we exert force and if we displace the charge from point B to A, B to A, right? Then the potential of the charge at point A will be VA. Now, as we have done work, the potential VA is greater than potential VB. What is the difference in the potential? Then the difference in potential will be VA minus VB. Similarly, consider a unit positive charge at point B in the positive electric field. So this is a positive electric field. The direction of electric field due to a positive charge is always radiating outwards, radiating outwards, right? So in this unit, consider a unit positive charge at point B in a positive electric field. Let the electrical potential for the unit charge at point B be VB. Now a force F has to be exerted on the unit charge and it is displaced to a point A in the electric field. Now as there is repulsion between like charges, a force has to be exerted on the unit charge to displace it from point A towards, displace it to from the point B to point A towards the field. Now let the potential of the unit charge at point A be VA, as work has to be done on unit charge to displace it to point from point B to point A. Therefore, the potential at VA is greater than VB. So change in potential will be given by VA minus VB, that is delta V. That is potential difference equals to work done upon charge. So what is electrical potential difference? The formula is V equals to work done per unit charge, that is W upon Q. Now, if we want to define the electrical potential of a charge, so how we can define electrical potential of a charge at any point? So, electric potential at any point is equal to the work done in bringing a unit charge from infinity to that point. Now, the electrical potential of a charge at infinity is considered as 0. So, electrical potential at point A will be VA minus V infinity, as V infinity is 0, right? So it will be equal to VA equal to the work done per unit charge. Now the unit of work is joules and the unit of charge is coulomb. Now which is equal to volt. Now volt is the SI unit of electrical potential difference. Now how do we define 1 volt? 1 volt is the potential difference when 1 joule of work is done per coulomb of charge. Now this is an analogy once again to understand this whole concept of electrical potential difference. Now it says that water flows due to a difference in the height, or we can say the gravitational potential energy. The water at the greater potential energy, higher gravitational potential energy, will always flow towards the lower potential energy, and while flowing it can do work, and therefore this water will turn, right? Now when it comes to the lower potential energy, then we have to do work. Now this water pump is doing work, this water pump is doing work, and therefore we need to do work once again to raise the level of water to the higher potential. Similarly, the battery or the cell has to do work on the electric charges, right? Here the conventional electric current is flowing from the positive terminal. Now, when the charges flow from the positive terminal, they have high potential energy. But when they go through this electrical device or the load, the energy is, it has to do work, the charges have to do work, therefore their energy is lost, and therefore they come to lower potential energy, and they reach to the lower end of the battery, which is at a low electrical potential. Now what happens, there are chemical processes which are going inside a battery. Now these chemical reactions are responsible for once again doing work on these charges with the lower potential energy and raise their potential energy, and once again these charges reach to a higher electrical potential, and once again they flow from the positive end. So charges in a wire are analogous to water in a pipe. Electric current is analogous to the flow of water. The battery is basically analogous to water pump, that means it raises the potential energy of the charges, and the voltage, that is potential difference, is analogous to the change in gravitational energy, right? Here when the water is at top, it has a higher gravitational potential energy, and when the water is at the lower level, it has low gravitational potential energy. And water always flows from a higher potential gravitational potential energy to a lower gravitational potential, and similarly the electric charges will always flow from a higher electric potential towards a lower electric potential. Now potential difference is equal to voltage, right? And voltage is equal to EMF. What is EMF? It is electromotive force. Now electromotive force is nothing but the potential difference per unit, that is, let us see. Okay, so in a battery there is a series of chemical reactions which are taking place. Now because of these chemical reactions, the electrons are accumulated at the negative terminal. Now the negative terminal has higher electron potential, and the positive terminal has lower electrical potential. So what happens in reality is, when the battery or a cell is connected to a conductor, the electrons from a higher electron potential, they flow through the conductor towards the lower electron potential, which is at the positive end. Now when the electrons reach at the positive end, the chemical reactions which are taking place once again take these electrons against the potential towards the negative side. But when these electrons are transported to the negative side, work has to be done, because once again there are negative charge and there will be repulsion. So work has to be done. When is done, once again the potential energy of these electrons get increased, right? So the maximum potential difference a power source can have is called the electromotive force. The term isn't actually a force, it is simply the amount of energy per charge. That means the work done per unit charge, or which is also known as the potential. So electrical potential difference between 2 points A and B on a conductor, current carrying conductor, is defined as the amount of work done to move a unit charge from point A to B. If W is the amount of work done to move charge Q from A to B on a conductor carrying current, then the potential difference V between point A and B is equal to the work done per unit charge, right? So it is potential difference is V equals to work done per unit charge, or if we want to calculate work, it is the potential into charge. When work done is 1 joule and the charge is 1 coulomb, then 1 joule per coulomb is equal to 1 volt. 1 volt can be defined as when 1 joule of work is done per unit charge, right? Volt is the SI unit of electrical potential difference in the honor of the Italian scientist Alexandro Volta. I hope that this particular important topic of electrical potential energy is now clear to you. Thank you very much for